You should test audio.
Good evening, Randomania. Looks like we have our final race of the night. We have drjayphd versus RaikouRider. Unfortunately, it looks like we're having a couple audio issues, and it doesn't look like they're going to be relenting anytime soon. Victor said that Discord is acting up, and he is correct.
Yeah, we're kind of pushing our way through it, though. We kind of got this opening at the last moment, so I guess it's this for nothing at this point.
So yeah, join us as we handle our inner sticks and do some Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto. Hopefully we'll get you through it.
So, assuming that you can actually understand what we're saying, some of you might be wondering what exactly is randomized here in this Max Rando tournament. And the answer is yes. Pretty much anything that can be randomized has been randomized. Your starting items, starting spells, the experience you need for each level, how many crystals you need to place, and we placed the entire world itself.
Well, it looks like somebody didn't quite get hint, and thanks for playing Metroid. Raikou running with the Samus Aran sprite. It looks like we have an early count for Dr. J PhD.
I see we have the fairy spell. I saw a flute and a raft. There was one more item there. I did not see what it was, though.
Well, I see 7 life blocks, I believe, so we'll be pretty healthy. Looks like a fairy and it, whatever the old Kasuto spell, fire, and we've just picked up jump. So once we find our location for the down stab count, we'll have no problem picking that up if they don't have it already.
So we have the raft, the flute, and the magic key. That is a nice thing to see.
Let's see, did we see how many crystals it was? It looks like 6 are marked out. Okay, so we're going to go through all the palaces. It looks like potentially thunder if it's not linked to fire. Let's see if the lightning strikes twice in a row here.
And we found our first item cave here on Dr. G's side. And RaikouRider has a same cave. I want to see if this is your cave.
That was a cross that RaikouRider picked up, and Dr. J had it as well. I believe just looking at the candle, and then we'll be able to see the darkened areas where RaikouRider presently is. Alright, here's the big important question, chat. Can you hear me now? We're trying to resolve the issues. Okay, here we go. Now we just need to get Melee Wizard in on this, and hopefully we'll have this all sorted out sooner rather than later. Looks like we've found another town, another spell, and we'll see what we found in the garbage. Looks to be the spell. And we are still trying to, I believe, sort this all out, as I don't hear Melee Wizard, unfortunately. Alright, I think we have Melee Wizard with us now.
Hello.
Yay, you're back! And I can understand you. I approve of this.
I don't know how much Discord would have changed that one way or the other. Anyway, looks like we found Palace 3.
Yeah, it looks like Dr. J's continuing on. RaikouRider choosing no thank you, and seems to be moving on.
And RaikouRider going to another palace. It looks like it's either 2 or 5. Didn't check the statue at the front, so it can't really tell from that. Though I think just from this, I think this might be 2.
Raikou suspiciously picking up a key.
Could be forced to have it. Maybe not used to having the magical key right at the start.
That is very good point. Raikou having a bit of trouble here, trying to take these guys down with just attack 2 for the present time. And it looks like Dr. J has found yet another... Actually, no, they're in the same one now.
Yeah, that's the same one.
A little different.
Yeah, it's a bit of a coloration difference. One's probably on emulator, one's on hardware or something.
And Raikou leveling up, but doesn't look like he chose to pick anything, so it looks like he may be trying to get everything going. I think Dr. J actually choosing not to pick up the key. And it looks like have a little question in chat with the timer. I don't think it actually got started.
Yeah, that's probably on me, since I was kind of focusing on, trying to get other things done. Could probably start the timer now, but it's a bit late for that now, I think.
We'll just arbitrarily add, say, a bunch of minutes and call it a time.
Yeah, but early on, you'd never really want to start seeing blue iron knuckles. Goodness knows I've had seeds where palaces were utterly infested with them. And, RaikouRider found the item room for Palace 2. Let's see what we get.
It looks like it was a magic upgrade, or Yeah, it was wider than the medicine bottle, so it looks like
yep.
it was a magic upgrade bottle.
That is definitely a magic container, and I think I'm behind on your end, although I don't think there's anything I can do about that.
Oh, that's all right. I'll try not to spoil it for you.
Yeah, but finding magic containers is always a nice thing. It allows you to use spells more often, and if you find new Kasuto, I want to say the requirement for getting the first item there is somewhere between 5 and 7 magic containers. But you won't know until you actually find the town.
Now, do we know what fire is linked to, or is it even linked to anything at all?
It has the potential to be linked to something. If they've tested it, I did not see what it turned out to be. So the thing is, they can't actually use it right now because fire costs 81, so they don't actually have the magic to use it right now anyway.
Oh, minor little details. Yeah, it looks like RaikouRider is on 80. And unfortunately, Slyrene, I do not know if either of them are playing on console. That's something we could ask at the end.
Based on the coloration I'm seeing, if I were to venture a guess, I would say Dr. J is on console. But that's just a guess on my part. So yeah, even with 5 magic containers, RaikouRider cannot cast fire right now. Just short.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like he may have to raise that magic level above 2. Dr. J looks like they got out of there, got trapped in, and said, I'm gonna try this over again.
Well, they did just get attack 4, so getting that level up probably factored into that decision, just so that experience didn't go to waste.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like it's only 140 XP to get either Life or Magic 2. I can't remember which one's the least expensive.
Life is usually the least expensive, and it would be Life 3 that Dr. J would be getting.
Yes. He has Life 2. Mm-hmm. Kind of getting a little ahead of myself there. Oops.
Alright, so RaikouRider piecing out of Palace 2 and finds, I believe, is that the Medicine Cave? I always get Medicine Cave and Hard Container Cave mixed up, but it's just, they're both item caves, so that's really all that matters to me on this.
Yeah, I think we can settle on it being Item Cave, and it looks like a 500-point P-Bag, so that means whatever item would have been there likely was replaced by the 500-point P-Bag, because they started with it.
Yeah, likely... It is likely that it was one of the hard containers, since they started with 7, and there is no guarantee that there will be an 8th. So that 8th one, if would have been replaced with a 500 P-Bag as well, because until they find it, we'll never know.
Yeah, it looks like fire is linked to the life spell. It looked like Raikou's life went up when he had cast that spell.
That is actually really good, because at higher magic levels, fire can get real cheap. So having a cheap life spell, that is a very nice thing to have.
Yeah, that's very true. Fire was in the first match today linked to Thunder, and I believe it ended up costing 8. So it was used very liberally.
Yeah, when you have Thunder spell for cheap, yeah, it's not a bad idea to do that. And RaikouRider finding Death Mountain. Not the friendliest place to be, especially when you don't have a candle.
No, very true. Dr. J, on his side of things, testing out the fire spell and finding that it was linked to the life spell as well, so both of our runners know this little tidbit of knowledge.
Yep. And one thing I didn't notice about the life spell is under randomization on its own as well. The amount of health you get is randomized between 1 and 5. So I don't know if wasn't really paying attention. I didn't see how much health that either of our runners got, assuming that it didn't just max it out outright.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably at least 2. I think Dr. J had 2 plus a little bit of a third one when he used fire, and it brought him back to full.
Well, if it's 3+ is always nice. It's always a bad time when you get life and it's expensive and it only heals you for like 1 or something. Oh, we found there's Spectacle Rock Cave, but we don't have the hammer yet, so we can't take advantage of it.
Well, that's unfortunate. Dr. J looks to be doing some work here, and it looks like he has abandoned ship on the palace.
Well, neither of our runners have the Power Glove, and that is Palace 2, so maybe they might be Power Glove blocked on that one.
That is true. It looks like now it's just a bit of exploration for our runners here. RaikouRider is in Death Mountain. Dr. J seems to be just outside of the palace, almost like he's trying to grind these enemies to get his XP up.
And at some point, our run, I don't know if they got it from the beginning, but they have the spell as well, though it's rather expensive. In a pinch, it can help, making the enemies less of a threat.
No, they definitely did find it along the way.
Okay, so
it was in one of the towns.
It had to, from the spot, I think that was the 3rd slot, which would have been Saria. And Dr. J finding Death Mountain and deciding to not go there just yet.
Yeah, not quite a popular tourist destination for the time being. RaikouRider finding the graveyard. It looks like he's exploring through the single tiles, hopefully trying to find any kind of items that he can.
Thing is, you're not going to be finding any items in forest tiles. The only exception might be if Nukutsudo is considered hidden, and you would still need the hammer for that. But outside of that, there are no item locations on forest tiles. And according to chat, apparently life is a full 5-bar heal. That is wonderful.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll see on RaikouRider's side, because he's probably in need of a life spell in the very near future. We'll see how that works out for him. Now, starting with the raft, do you consider using that raft over to the eastern continent at this point?
At this point, I might at least take a look, just to see if there's anything close by. Like, if you've luck into finding Palace 1 quickly on the eastern side or something. And RaikouRider finding the town of Ruto does not have the spell for this town yet, also does not have the trophy, but we do have hints on, so we could get some information. We also, at the very least, we'll find out which region of the world the trophy is.
Oh, that was an unfortunate hint. Helmet Head guards the magic jar.
Okay, so it's a magic jar in Palace 2. Right, we already got that.
Yeah, that both of the runners have already collected.
And it's always nice finding hints to stuff that you already have.
Oh yeah, one of the more wonderful ones are the raft is in the eastern continent or western continent. When you find it on the eastern continent,
Well, you can't really find the raft on the eastern continent.
No, the hint is what I meant.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's Link to the Past isn't the only place where you can find pointless hints.
Looks like Dr. J stopping at the town to fill up his life meter. And the exploration continues.
And RaikouRider, since neither of our runners have the boots, which is a very convenient item to have, but unfortunately without that, RaikouRider is having to go through this bridge segment.
Yeah, I think it's about the only place that Raikou is not explored so far. And, ooh, this is going to be a little rough.
And all for one cave, and it is Medicine Cave. Not Medicine Cave, Magic Container Cave. Oh, and of course there's a diary right there. When doing Zelda 2 Randomizer just in general, you will come to hate Dairas. If you don't already.
Well, it looks like Dr. J's found another palace.
I think Dr. J went back into 3, I think.
But Raikou picking up the trophy here, so that might lead him to some spell of value.
It could. We're still missing Thunder, which may or may not be required. We're still missing Reflect, which we know is required because we have all 6 crystals needed.
And the item, a 500-point P-bag for Dr. J.
We're still at a point where those are not the worst things to get. If you're going to be finding those 500 P-bags, it's best to find them early.
Oh, I can definitely agree with you there. It looks like Dr. J's gonna try to continue through this palace. RaikouRider still spelunking a bit. Chose not to follow through there.
One thing that might be considered a bad habit, on my end at least, is when I tend to avoid pass-through caves for as long as I can. So when I see that it's a pass-through cave and not an item cave, I just move on, usually, until I don't have anywhere else to be. And RaikouRider finding Palace 4. Does not have Reflect, but Will he try to go in at least to get the item? Yeah, looks like he's diving in.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to speculate. That just going to have a go at it and see if we can find the item room.
At least with the magic key in hand, that's one less concern that our runners won't have to deal with. And there's one dead end.
Well, right now, just looking at where we're at, it looks like Dr. J has a little bit of an advantage in the way of having Attack 5, Magic 4, and Life 4. Raikou might not be held up by that too much.
Yeah, the RaikouRider definitely has a bit of an edge on exploration at this point.
Ooh, Raikou, unfortunately, finding another dead end.
As long as you're taking some sort of mental notes or whatever where you've been, at least now you know you don't have to go that way.
Oh no. Raikou, finding a very interesting room and choosing probably the best way to get around it.
Yeah. Remember when I mentioned some of my seeds end up being infested with blue iron knuckles? That's the kind of thing I was talking about.
So now Dr. J is going to try to gain some kind of exploration knowledge here. It looks like he's jumping into Death Mountain.
Yep. Unfortunately, RaikouRider wasn't able to find anything outside of Spectacle Rock Cave. Though without the hammer, that's really just for knowledge. That you can't actually accomplish anything with that as of yet. So
now Raikou is being quite cautious here, trying to jump over the blue iron knuckle, and it looks like he got it. So Raikou able to move into the next screen.
yeah, it took a bit of a hit to get by, but that's... And, of course, it's another dead end.
Oh, no.
And now he's going to have to get by the Iron Knuckle again. And, unfortunately, neither of our runners have found the town of Mido yet, so they neither of them have downstab yet, which would have made that, getting past that, almost trivial.
Ooh. Another room with... just yuck.
And I think that's the same one. I think he ferried through that one before, so he's just passing through that room again.
Ah, true. Yeah, you're right. Now it looks like we're going to see the fire spell here just to regain some life from RaikouRider. RaikouRider, excuse me.
Alright, so found the item room. What do we have here? Once he gets past the Doom Knocker here.
Oh, what a troll. 500-point P-Bag. 14 points away from getting that 1,700 points for a level up.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
That's bad. Dr. J finds Mido. Okay, so there's going to be our downstab for Dr. J.
And Raikou was spawning in a couple bits and getting Attack 5. And there we go. He's out of there. Bye-bye.
Yeah, yeah, when you're cutting things that closely, I don't blame you.
So yeah, picking up that Attack 5 level definitely seemed to be the objective once he found the item room.
And I did not see what information Dr. J got regarding the medicine. Actually, no, never mind. They already have the spell from Mido. They got it from the beginning. Never mind. So they didn't need that information. Ooh, RaikouRider finding the grass tile though, and gets the lost child.
So that's 2 of our 3 reward items that RaikouRider's found. He's found the trophy and the child. Only the medicine is at large, and
well, the medicine won't be there because that one was for Mido, and they already have the spell for that slot.
Ah, okay. But we have the boots on RaikouRider's side now.
Ah, nice. There's some of our mobility right there.
Yeah, that should start to open things up. And it looks like Dr. J has decided I will travel east.
Well, there's a town right in sight already.
Not one he seemed to be interested in, however, just noping on out of there almost immediately.
Oh, and I see it. That's because it is Darunia. Without the child, and I guess maybe Dr. J doesn't consider upstab an immediate priority.
Well, RaikouRider having the child might have a different perspective here on things.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah.
So we'll see if Raikou tries to see this through. He's definitely got his mind set on something.
Does RaikouRider go for upstab? No, apparently not. I already passed by it. So...
Well, he would have to use Fairy to get to it.
Yeah, which he has.
But we've found, I believe we found one of our potentially needed spells. That looked like thunder to me.
And Dr. J finding Old Kasuto and not sticking around there either. Though I think they already have the spell for that slot as well, I think.
Yeah, Old Kasuto, I believe, is the bottom slot, so...
Yes, it is.
They definitely have that one.
Okay. So, yeah, Old Kasuto is worthless.
Yeah, that's the fire spell, is in that last slot.
And we're seeing the difference here in what our 2 runners have. They're both more or less in the same region. Dr. J having downstab is definitely having an easier time of getting past some of these enemies compared to RaikouRider, who has to kind of jump over.
Dr. J just picked up something, but I could not tell what it was.
That was a 1-up. It just because Dr. J has using the Stalfo sprite, the 1-up kind of looks like a Stalfo.
Ah, okay. That makes more sense now, because I could not recognize what that was. Dr. J seems to have upstab and downstab. So maybe our runners started with it then? I just never noticed it? Yeah, I didn't notice it either, but no, one way or another, Dr. J has unlocked the secrets of 4-directional fighting, being able to swing that sword up, down, left, and right.
Yeah, Dr. J definitely has upstab there, so... Definitely have a sizable swamp area here, and we're almost... Our runners are almost right on top of each other.
Yeah, it looks like, oh, Dr. J. Oh, no. Oh, okay, he's got a couple lives stored up. I think, his plan might be similar to, Raikou's previous plan. Just, get enough for that, level up, and then, adjust, accordingly to what you know. We'll see, if that's the case or not, or if he does have something in mind for what he's gonna do.
Yeah, when your experience requirements go up into like the 2,000-3,000 range and on up, losing that much to a game over really stinks. I experienced that myself earlier this evening.
Oh no. I know you had a match. I don't know if I want to bring it up, but
I already did, so why not?
Oh, fair enough. Well, we didn't bring up as to the result of said match, so. Or did we? And I just missed it.
Not directly, no.
We're gonna find out anyway, because we'll see the standings after the first week's done. Gonna leave us in suspense as RaikouRider's found a town, although I believe it's one that he's already been in.
Yeah, if anything, he's probably going to probably heal, and perhaps see what's on the other side, or no, he just went in there to heal.
Dr. J using a interesting flashlight of sorts here, using fire to ferret out where the hidden enemies are.
Yeah, for that one brief moment, yeah.
You know, RaikouRider using the boots, and it looks like he's going to do a little water walking, see what he can find on the potential edges of the map.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. You can't have any encounters when you're on the water tiles. You're pretty much got to have free movement for however long the water goes. Considering all that swamp that's around him, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Alright, here's the question, Melee. You're the wizard, I'm not so much the wizard here, so what would we be looking for in the way of progression at this point?
Well, the glove for sure, because a lot of the dungeons will likely require glove usage, potentially the Great Palace as well. So that's probably, out of what our runners do not have, that's probably the biggest one. Definitely Reflect is going to be required to get through Palace 4. But, yeah, those are pretty much the big ones right there.
Ah, there we go. Dr. J picking up the child. And it looks like Raikou picking up the downstab.
And probably wishing he had that a lot sooner.
Answer to the commentary. That particular bag is presently doing commentary.
I was gonna say it all depends on which boss you have more trouble with. I would say it would either be Palace 5 or Great Palace, honestly.
Now, we don't know if this is going to be a required Thunderbird at this point.
Yes, that is one of the things with Max Rando. It's like you don't know the nature of what's been randomized into what until you actually see it. So we don't know. Thunderbird is going to be in Great Palace. That is not up for debate. But whether or not Thunderbird is on the path to Dark Link, that's the question of, well, it's not relevant right now, but it'll definitely come up once we get to GP and see what kind of twisty-turny path we end up taking. Meanwhile, RaikouRider finding a palace, and that is Palace 5.
He's just taking some notes, it looks like, and then getting on out of there. Dr. J has found himself in Palace 4, and it looks like he is item hunting. This is not going to work out well for him. We have the advantage of already knowing it is a 500-point P-bag that he will find.
And, RaikouRider finding Naburu, which will have a free spell. And Dr. J deciding to take that Magic 5 level. And what did RaikouRider get? Got there's Reflect. Okay.
Now let's see if we can swap Dr. J and Raikou's positions here. So I think Dr. J is exactly where Raikou's going to end up heading in the very near future.
Unfortunately, I don't think Ferrari's Wind works that way.
Oh, we can always try, right?
One thing I didn't notice, did Dr. J find Thunder yet? I hadn't really noticed it.
I do not think so, but RaikouRider's about to find a desert tile.
And there's the hammer. So that's potential access to New Kasuto, assuming that it's actually hidden. That's access to the Spectacle Rock Cave, which both of our runners have seen, and RaikouRider has Maze Island in sight.
Yeah, so it looks like we're gonna do a little exploring on Maze Island. Made a little easier by having the boots, and Raikou's about to find one of the drop-downs.
Yeah, so we got 2 item locations and 1 palace here, so that's definitely a nice place to look around if you're able to.
It looks like Raikou's trying to bank some of those points, possibly going for attack 6.
Yep, and I want to say our runner started. Did our runner start with 2 lives? I believe so, and that's. I mean, it's better than one life, but still, when you have fewer lives than you normally would, that's definitely you definitely need to be careful. That's a 3-6. So we've already found 3, so that's got to be Palace 6 then.
It looks like Raikou just again stopping to note where particular palaces are and trying to explore Maze Island itself, trying to find those drop-down locations to see what he can find.
There's still one more item spot left to hunt down.
So we'll see what RaikouRider finds in Maze Island while Dr. J continues the exploration.
Yep, still exploring the western continent.
Now, what I'm kind of surprised with here is that RaikouRider, whenever he hits an encounter tile, is not trying to pass through the tile and instead just turning around.
Well, that is understandable, because going through those encounter spots takes a non-zero amount of time. And if you're able to circumvent them in some way, it's often a better option to do so.
I guess find it a little odd, especially given that he's just gone up into the top right area of Maze Island, and it doesn't seem to be any way to get around that particular area. So I figured if he was going to go and try one of the boards, it would have been that one.
Yeah, but RaikouRider, maybe did he think for a moment that fire was linked to fairy or something? Because I think that was a bit of a mismenu. I
think he just did not have enough magic.
Fair enough. And Dr. J is ferrying through the Valley of Death. So we'll see which palace that one is.
Well, by deduction, we've got about a 50-50 shot of it being either Great Palace or Palace 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, Great Palace. Ooh, what a whammy.
Yeah, it's vanilla location, as vanilla as it can be, given all things considered. I'm sure Dr. J would have liked to have seen Palace 1 there, but it just wasn't to be.
Well, if he finds another palace just kind of out and about, kind of narrows it down for him a little bit. It looks like he's on the edge of the map.
I was going to say might be the quickest way to get back to the raft spot, but I guess not.
Certainly considered it, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to get around to where I think he wants to go. RaikouRider looks like having a little bit of a grind trying to get through, but we're going to see our first boss.
And Palace 5 is outside of Great Palace. I think Palace 5 is physically. Oh, actually, RaikouRider's at 6. Never mind. I was going to say 5 is basically the largest one, I think, but those 6 is not an easy one to navigate either.
Well, he's doing some pretty good work here on Barbo. It started with 5 blocks of health, and there we go.
Yeah, Barba's, if you know how to go about it, Barba's really not a hard boss to fight. As long as you know how to avoid those, avoid the fire breath thing, it's pretty much just get in and hack away.
Oh, there we go. Raikou finishing our first palace about 48 minutes in.
And it being Palace 6 as well, and getting Attack 6. So now the question, does he go after that one other item tile that's like the item spot likely behind one of these encounters here? Or does he just...
It looks like he's gonna start looking. There's really 2 spots it could be, and I think they're both up by the top section. There's a middle section that looked like it was blocked off, and the top right corner both seem to be locked behind an encounter tile.
And I think Dr. J found Hammer Cave. So, we're up. Looks like we're about to see what that one is.
Nice. Dr. J hopefully gonna find something of value here. I think the glove being the most opportune, but the candle gonna be what Dr. J ends up finding.
Candle's a nice convenience, but it doesn't really unlock anything.
The ability to see in the darker areas?
Yeah, but it's... As has often been proven, it's not an absolute requirement. It's like... You're not going to turn it away, for sure, but... You know, so I've seen runners beat the game without a candle numerous times. Heck, in the race that I had just now, I don't think I ever found it.
Fair enough. So, a quality of life upgrade we could
oh, yes.
quantify the candle as, but definitely not a requirement.
Right. Is RaikouRider still hunting around for that item spot? Apparently it wasn't in that top part of things.
No, surprisingly it wasn't. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to find another P-bag.
Yep, another P-bag.
I'm almost surprised Raikou didn't just up an A out of Maze Island. Be interesting to see what he's got in mind for the next play here.
Well, maybe... Well, we never did find the item in 6, did we? I don't know if that's what Raikou was thinking of, but... No, just passing through there. Maybe he wants to get that life 5 before up and A-ing or something.
Oh yeah, only 15 points away from picking up a level.
So Dr. J finding the candle in Death Mountain unfortunately does not have the hammer yet, so it couldn't check what was that Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, looks like Raikou, oh no, he's kind of tapped out, given up on the potential level up.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Raikou's got a couple options here. Having Reflect, we could see Palace 4 come into play. Having the Hammer, Spectacle Rock coming into play, as I believe Trail's pointing out in the chat.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dr. J is diving into 5. Yeah, I'm only noticing just now, yeah, that Dr. J's level advantage definitely has a significant level advantage here.
Yeah, looks like Spectacled Rock holding a magic jar, so RaikouRider picking up a 6th magic jar.
Not bad, not bad. Still looking for that glove, though. We're starting to run low on places that it can be.
What are the chances that it would actually be hiding in one of the palaces as the item?
Given that I think we've only seen one palace item so far, it's starting to look pretty likely at this point. It's just a matter of which dungeon, which palace is it.
2, if I'm not mistaken. We found something in Palace 2, because we had the hint for it.
Right, that was, I think that was a magic container. Right, there was a pea bag in
6.
No, it was in 4, actually.
Oh, it was in 4, okay.
Right, Raikou never found the item in 6. It was a pea bag in 4, that's what it was.
Okay, so 2 of the dungeons that we've seen, if not potentially 3, at this point, we know...
Apparently we saw the item in 3 as well. I don't remember that offhand, but...
Oh, there had to have been a pea bag, if anything, because...
Yeah, I think so.
I don't immediately remember what it could have been, but it looks like RaikouRider's heading into a dungeon. I believe it's 4.
No, that's 3.
Oh, that's 3, okay.
It took a while, but I finally starting to identify those the tops of those columns on site.
Oh, you're definitely ahead of me on that one, so I will definitely defer to you.
Yeah, by looking at the columns, you can tell if it's either... There's 3 different column types. One for 1 and 4, 2 and 5, and 3 and 6. The only palaces that you couldn't identify just from that would be 3 and 6. Because with 1 and 4, 4 has the Moa at the start and also has the 1 does not. Between 2 and 5, 2 has the statue that you can check for Red Magic Jar, 5 does not. With 3 and 6, you can't really tell just from that opening. You have to actually dive inside and see what some of the rooms look like. But RaikouRider finding the item, and it's a... Oh yeah, right, the pea bag in 3, right.
Yeah, Raikou reinforcing what I think we already knew, but simply overlooked. A pea bag in 3, so pea bag in 3 and 4. Magic container in 2, so now we have 1, 5, and 6 kind of out there still.
Yeah. If I was gonna peg one of them to have the glove in, it would probably be 1, since I know you don't need it to actually get through the whole thing. So there's no way it could be Power Glove blocked. I don't recall how Power Glove blocked 5 and 6 can 4 and 5 can be, rather, or 5 and 6 or whatever it is I'm trying to say.
Well, 5 and 6 are the ones we don't know the item location of.
Right.
Or what? Well, I think we know what the location is. We just don't know what the actual item is. and Dr. J finding another pea bag in an item location.
Oh, wow.
So that's another one off the list.
So the thing is, I do believe that there are still 2 item caves in the eastern continent that haven't been found.
Now, the town that has the, I guess, cave, for lack of a better term, where you use the spell,
Yes,
to make the cave appear.
Yeah, that has not been found by either of our runners yet.
So that's another potential location of the glove. Or is there some strange logic that would not allow that to...
No, it could be, it could be. Because there's actually 2 items and 1 spell in New Katsudo. One of the items requires the spell, which I believe our runners already have. Or at least one of our runners already has.
And Raikou definitely has it.
And the other item is blocked by a certain number of magic containers, anywhere between 5 and 7, depending on the seed. So there's really at this point, no guarantee that even that one's available to our runners just yet. Oh yeah, and I see Dr. J does have the spell. That was in the Saria spot.
Well, it looks like Raikou has 6 blocks on his magic bar right now. Dr. J on 5. Both in level and the number of blocks available.
And one thing that has been noted in chat, that RaikouRider has kind of sacrificed a good bit of experience on occasion through up A's, and that's probably what's very contributed to Dr. J's level lead at this point. Because Dr. J has been able to make the most out of the experience that he's been getting. Having attack 7 for starters.
Yeah, but Dr. J also has the supporting levels, like the Magic 5 and the Life 6, where
right.
I believe Raikou has Magic 3 and Life 4?
Yes.
So this is a pretty big deficit now for RaikouRider. In the way...
Although, to be fair, Dr. J is behind in other ways. Doesn't have the hammer, doesn't have reflect, doesn't have thunder. Well, although we don't know if thunder is required, but it's... When going into GP, it's probably better to have it, just so you don't have to worry about whether to have to leave, especially since we know GP is in Death Valley.
Well, I guess we could look at Dr. J having the strength of the character in having the levels of 7, 5, 6, as opposed to Raikou being 6, 3, 4 at this point. Would you rather have the exploration advantage that RaikouRider has, or would you rather have the strength of the character that Dr. J has?
It all really all depends on what your priorities are, I guess. I would like having the survivability, but hey, Dr. J finding Guma. Let's see how well this fight goes. Because Guma's not... Yeah, Guma hits pretty hard, even when you're at life 6.
Yeah, it looks like Dr. J's doing a pretty good job so far of avoiding taking a mace to the face.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that is Dr. J's first boss. And is really close to a level just outright, but it probably debated for a brief moment to go back and get that last bit of experience, but decides to just move on.
Well, in all honesty, I don't think he needed to waste his time. He's got 5 more crystals to dunk, and
right, yeah,
surprisingly, 5 more levels to gain.
Yeah, so just from all that, look at we might be looking at 888 for Dr. J when all's said and done. Dr. J finding Naburu. I want to say this was where Thunder was.
Well, we're going to find out in just a couple seconds here. Dr. J getting the sage advice that Larry is still in Northern Palace, but I believe that was the Reflect spell that Dr. J has just picked up.
Ah, okay, alright. So, yeah, Thunder was in Darunia, right?
Still a rather important spell to have with Reflect.
Right.
Being definitely required, as we should see Dr. J ending up in Palace 4 pretty soon. RaikouRider actually in Palace 4.
And Dr. J finding that hammer. Unfortunately, it's not good. The reward in Death Mountain for that is lackluster, but...
Well, so let's see if RaikouRider can try to consolidate his... I guess we could call it a lead, because he's semi-ahead in the potential ability to complete a second palace. Dr. J is going to explore a little bit, and unfortunately, he's just going to find a pair of pea bags. Yes, Raikou, question in chat by Trails. Raikou was in Maze Island. That's where Palace 6 is, and he found a pair of pea bags.
Yeah, unfortunate. But as proven, we don't need the Power Glove to get to Barba and at least put up the gem for 6. We never did find the item in 6. For all we know, that may be where the glove is, but who knows? And RaikouRider getting to Karok.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a quick and easy one. Just kind of hide in the corner and let the boss do the work for you.
And RaikouRider finally getting that attack 7. Frankly, this level advantage that Dr. J has will pretty much level itself out, since RaikouRider still has 4 more levels, 4 more crystals to put in. Presumably, one of them will end up being attack 8. The other ones, you could probably grind up for the quote-unquote attack 9, and then just spend all that bonus XP on the remaining life and magic levels.
Yeah, that's I think exactly what Raikou might be trying for. Raikou looks like they're trying to set up a encounter skip going into Death Valley. Unfortunately, missing it a couple times.
Yeah, it's... Even with pause buffering, some of these enemies just aren't very cooperative. And unfortunately, RaikouRider will either have to walk right back out or a way out of there, since we know it's Great Palace.
Yeah, Raikou losing a little bit of time here. Looks like Dr. J is doing a little more exploration, finding a very unfortunate pea bag. It's about the one thing I don't think he wants to find at this point. Right. He's already got all of his levels accounted for.
So the only things that we're left that we're guaranteed to find is the Power Glove and 2 more magic containers that we haven't yet seen. We could potentially see another heart container, but that is not a certainty.
And Raikou finding the Great Palace, and yeah, gone. Goodbye. So it looks like Dr. J is going to have a go at Palace 6. Heading on over to the palace. Found the pea bags along the way. Picking up Life 7. I think Victor pointing out the great mystery. Where are you, Palace 1? Now, we know Palace 1 has to be on the eastern continent, correct?
I believe so, yes.
So we found 4. The starting palace, I believe, 2. And, now I gotta think a little.
I believe it was 2, 3, and 4 were on the west side, 1 and 5 on the east side, 6 on Maze Island, and Great Palace in Death Valley.
Okay, so it's just a matter of exploring the overworld at this point to actually figure out where Palace 1 is hiding.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Dr. J is having a go at Palace 6. So here's a question for you. How much, I guess, effort do you put into trying to find Palace 1 if you're either of these runners who are now, well, both in a respective dungeon trying to finish it off? I believe Dr. J is in 4.
Dr. J's in 6 because they're still in Maze Island.
Oh, right, yeah.
RaikouRider's 5.
Okay. Oh, Raikou passing up the chance to level something up, so it looks like he might be trying to get attack 8, as Dr. J seems to have found Barba's lair.
Yeah, if you're comfortable moving forward with only Magic 3 and Life 4, going after attack 8 is probably not the worst idea.
Well, if Raikou sets things up so that level up goes to what should be attack 8, he could use those points to level up his magic and life up to potentially 5, if not 6.
Yeah, I had mentioned that possibility before.
And Dr. J finishing off Barba, so that'll be 5 and 6, where Raikou about to take on Guma.
And a question in chat regarding 3-Eye Rock. That is one of the potential things that can be randomized. It is possible that Palace 1 could be flute locked, though both of our runners had the flute from the very beginning. But it's just finding 3-Eye Rock. If we find 3-Eye Rock, we found Palace 1. But there's no guarantee that 3-Eye Rock will even be here in this particular seed. Along with the hidden Kusuto that we would need the hammer for, which both of our runners now have. Pretty much the main thing for finding new Kusuto is basically you're looking for one forest tile on the eastern continent that's just out by itself, and that doesn't trigger some sort of encounter on its own.
Well, it looks like Raikou's finished off Palace 5.
Yeah, I don't think we still don't know what the item in 5 is, though. It might be love blocked.
No, 5 we know. I believe Dr. J found it, and that was a pea bag. It's 6, I don't believe we know the item in.
I think we knew the items in 2, 3, and 4. I didn't think we saw it in 5 yet.
It'll be interesting to see if they end up having to go back into those particular palaces then.
Yeah, especially, say, 6, because it's way off in Maze Island. That's pretty far out of the way. Dr. J collecting another 1-up.
Well, here we go. Dr. J's diving in.
And there is Palace 1.
Found it.
Alright, so it was not 3-Eye Rock blocked. And with the magic key there's already in hand, there's really nothing stopping Dr. J from just clearing this place out right now.
Yeah, I would figure that's exactly his plan. Try to find the item, find Horsehead, get this done and over with. And it would put Dr. J into a tie for having 3 palaces completed. Now, would you say Palace 1 is shorter, longer, roughly speaking, compared to Palace 4?
I want to say Palace 1's the smallest one overall.
Well, it looks like Raikou's found Palace 1 as well, so we've got both of our runners diving into Palace 1.
Ah, yes, nice.
Yeah, because the reason I wanted to bring that up was if Raikou was unable to find Palace 1, Dr. J would have essentially Palace 4 to do while Raikou made their way through Palace 1. So just trying to get a little bit of a feel of who would be potentially in the lead, given that they both have 2 and 3 left to do.
And Dr. J finds the item room. Let's see if this is where the glove is. It is not. It is a magic container.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Dr. J and also Raikou, who's going to end up finding that. Potentially, that could unlock an item guaranteed for Raikou, because that old lady is between 5 and 7.
Right. Yeah, at a new Kasuto, yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't think either of our runners have even seen that. Seen new Kasuto yet. And Dr. J is like, hello, Horsehead, and goodbye, Horsehead. That's what happens when you're fighting Horsehead at level 7. It's not going to stick around very long.
Yeah, it looked like he did 5 points of damage on Horsehead's life bar with that first hit.
Yeah, Horsehead got 2 shot.
And there we go, Raikou finding the item room.
And decides to take that magic container.
Well, I can certainly see why.
And Dr. J finding the water spot, and it's just another tea bag. And it looks like RaikouRider is taking advantage of the Bogos here, grinding up for that one last, grinding up for a level before fighting Horsehead. Or at least to ensure that he gets attack 8 with it, I guess.
Yeah, that's going to be a big crystal for Raikou. That's going to be worth about 5,200 experience.
Oh, yes. So that's either going to be attack 8 or a lot of magic and life levels. Let's see which one he goes for.
Well,
Yep, he goes for attack 8.
Yeah, actually,
And Dr. J finding one of the Eastern Continent P-Bag caves. And I think RaikouRider's in the exact same spot. Wow.
and to no surprise, it's a P-bag.
Oh dear. We
Raikou-
are definitely tightening the screws as to where this power glove could be.
Well, we're down to Palace 6? Palace... no, can't be 1. We know that one. Can't be 2. Can't be 3 or 4. I don't think it could be any of them. But Raikou did finish off the first palace. Yeah, there we go.
So I think there's still one more P-Bag cave on the eastern continent, unless I missed one of our runners getting it.
So could this come down to actually digging through Palace 6? Or are we just trying to find new Kasuto at this point?
Ooh, there it is. Dr. J finds it. And 6 magic containers is enough. So let's see what our first item here is.
Oh, this is going to be a fun one.
And that's our... At least as far as we're concerned, that's the last magic container.
Yes, because if Raikou goes in there, he will find his 8th container. Looks like Raikou found another P-Bag, and here comes the spell from Dr. J.
And there it is. There is the glove. So Dr. J is pretty much free in the clear to, well, like, it doesn't have thunder yet. And we'll see what the spell is on the way out.
Well, it looked like,
Yeah, that's the life spell.
Yeah, I was definitely going to say that it was definitely not Thunder.
Thunder is at Darunia. RaikouRider already has it. I think Dr. J did not have the lost child yet when he had first seen it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is true. Raikou found the child much earlier than Dr. J did.
But Dr. J does have the lost child now, so it's just a matter of getting back to Darunia and getting that last, getting the thunder spell, just for safety's sake, if nothing else.
Oh, it would definitely be inconvenient, to say the least, if you encounter Thunderbird and are not prepared for it.
Yes.
Raikou. Looks like they're opening up the spell location.
And with that, I would say RaikouRider would be firmly in the lead at this point, having only 2 dungeons left to do.
So RaikouRider at this point is in Go mode, correct?
Yes, definitely. Dr. J is kind of Thunder contingent Go mode, one might say.
And here we go.
And both Palaces 2 and 3 are in the Western continent. Raikou knows where they are, so he's just going to make a beeline right for them.
Yeah, that looks to be exactly what he's doing.
And it looks like Dr. J is following right behind. So Dr. J is not really concerned about Thunder getting Thunder at the moment. Both of them are just heading right into 3. Just going to knock the place out.
Well, Dr. J is severely disadvantaged at this point. He will have to go through Palace 4, and Raikou already finishing Palace 4.
And the Palace Fort is also on the western continent, so at least you don't have to search through head over to the eastern side to get that one.
That is true. I guess Dr. J has, I guess, a plan in mind to finish off 2 and 3 and then see where things end up.
So, by process of elimination, the spell in Ruto would be the shield spell, but it looks like we won't be seeing it.
I wonder why.
Yeah, 2 out of the way. Unless Ruto happens to be, like, right next to Palace 2 or something, which I don't really remember.
I do not think so, but, well, we'll see. Dr. J, getting a little frisky with these iron golems. Looks like Raikou has, found himself a Rebanak.
And with attack 8, it won't be sticking around for very long. Wow. Dang.
Yeah, that's the second boss we've seen so far just get absolutely demolished.
Yeah. Goodness knows, in the practice seed that I ran earlier this evening, I was fighting Rebanaks, both Rebanaks in 6 at like attack 2, attack 3. I swear it took me like 5 minutes to kill him.
Wow. Well, that's I believe that's Palace 3 for both of our runners right now. Dr. J heading directly over to Palace 2. I think Raikou is already in Palace 2 at this point.
Yeah. It's all just a matter of knocking out the palaces you have left and then heading over to GP.
Well, it looks like Raikou is setting up a little bonus mission here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Once he puts that last crystal, he's gonna get a lot of XP to divvy up between magic and life.
So it looks like the mythical Attack 9 cost 8,370 experience points.
Yeah, it's part of the randomization feature. All those level up values are random. I don't know really what the range is for them, but like for all I know, it could be from like 8,000 to 9,999 or something like that. I don't know.
And for Raikou, at least, this will be his last palace, his last crystal. So if he's to gain any more levels, it'll have to be through normal gameplay aside from dunking this last crystal in Palace 2.
And which in all likelihood probably means that these will be the last levels that RaikouRider gets. it would be a really weird circumstance if you're in Great Palace in one for long enough in one continuous stretch to get enough XP to level again. And actually killing the enemies as you go, which is another huge if.
Well, I guess being in go mode, that would not take very long.
And RaikouRider finds Helmet Head. And down goes Helmet Head.
Yeah, Helmet Head being a little more resilient than Rebanak and our other friend Horsehead there.
I think it's because I don't even know if it's even possible to kill Helmet Head before you knock off both of those helmets.
Well, part of why he was so resilient. Ooh, Dr. J getting almost knocked into the lava.
Life 6. Life 7. Life 8. And Magic 5. Definitely favoring the life side. And off Raikou goes towards GP.
I think it's just trying to find the correct cave to head over to the raft spot at this point.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the raft spot's not really in a convenient area. And Dr. J finding Helmet Head.
Yeah, another long and arduous battle for Dr. J with one of the bosses.
Oh yes, I don't know how he was able to come through on that one. And RaikouRider's not even bothering trying to do the encounter skip, is just ferrying through it. Will likely up A once he gets into GP, just so he can operate on get a clean slate going in.
I believe this is the last encounter tile for RaikouRider.
And Dr. J heading back into Death Mountain. That is unfortunate.
Well, he's headed over to Spectacle Rock, it looks like, picking up that last magic potion.
And Great Palace, full of lag when you got all these bird knights. I don't remember what they're officially called. Oh, Dr. J is in Ruto. Did he get the trophy and I didn't see it? Yeah, must have, because he's going for the spell, which we know is not going to be... Actually, no, he doesn't have the trophy. I thought the Focus, I thought those were the fire throwers. Or maybe I'm mistaken.
Chat being silly.
As it is wont to do. So yeah, at this point, Dr. J is looking for Thunder at this point, and that is unfortunate. RaikouRider passing by the Eon drop, at least for the moment. Nope, no, he's not. He's going back for it. At least checking to see what was over there before dropping down. Ah, there's the trophy. It was that magic container cave.
So it looks like Dr. J has the trophy at this point. Hopefully he'll be able to cash that in.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll just be getting the shield spell for it.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Dr. J. Raikou consolidating on his lead, although unfortunately he's found a dead-end room.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah, at least in Great Palace,
You know a dead end when you see one.
Oh, very true. Dr. J, finding a spell, you won't be able to cast it.
Oh, it definitely will. It's just not the one that he's looking for. So it's the bad news that he has to head for Darunia to get the last one, but he does have the lost child. And, oh, that's a lovely little bird cage moment right there for RaikouRider. And what really sucks in Great Pals when you have a lot of enemies like this, the game was not designed to have all those types of enemies on screen at one time, and it just lags really, really bad.
Is this where you consider using Thunder just to try to clear everything out?
Possibly, although it looks like RaikouRider ended up doing just that, I think, because I think one of those birds is gone now.
Oh no. And the first thing he finds after going through that nightmare is a dead-end block room.
Oh, wow. And Dr. J heading back into 4. Unfortunately, still don't. Oh, yeah, it does have Reflect. Okay, right. So Dr. J will be able to complete 4. It's just doesn't have Thunder, but as of now, we still don't know if Thunder is actually required or not.
Well, as RaikouRider explores through, we're either going to find a Thunderbird room or a Darklink room at some point.
Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of which one we find first, and whether the Thunderbird is on the path to Darklink or if it's just guarding a dead end or something. I forget how many how many of the dead end rooms there are. I forget if it was 2 or 3.
So I think Raikou has found 2 of them so far.
Yes.
So we'll know it'd be 3 if he finds another one.
Mm-hmm. Just a matter of what does he find first? Another dead end, Thunderbird, or Darklink?
It sounds like quality menu selections for fine dining. Oh. This is, yeah.
Oh boy, okay. We got ourselves a fight here. But with attack 8, this fight should not take long.
No, RaikouRider looks pretty clean so far.
And yet down goes Thunderbird. And it's another dead end. Oh boy.
So Thunderbird not required to get to Dark Link, it seems.
No.
Dr. J is in business, although if he wanders into the Thunderbird area, that might cause a bit of an issue.
That's assuming that Dr. J doesn't head back to Darunia just to get Reflect before going into GP in the first place. For Thunder, rather.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it plays out. Raikou trying to find another way to advance through. And bypassing the Eon Drop this time around.
Yeah, we saw that led to nothing, and yet Dr. J is going in to go grab Thunder since it's Darunia's right there. Might as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Can't fault that logic. I think Raikou pausing to take a couple notes.
Yeah, probably he's taking notes as to the GP layout just to make sure he doesn't wander around in circles.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Don't want to find yourself at the Firebird room again. Oh no, finding a dead end.
I thought he had seen all three of them.
I thought so too, man. It's a potential mistake in his routing?
Maybe.
Well, here comes Dr. J. He's headed through Death Valley. So Raikou's got a little competition here. Dr. J certainly a couple minutes behind at minimum here.
Mm-hmm.
But we have both of our runners into the Great Palace. So with that room with the banner at the top of it that Dr. J was just in, is that just like the signifier of, hey, you're going the right way?
I don't think so, actually. Because like even in vanilla, I don't think that room is on the path to Thunderbird.
Well, it looks like Raikou might have found his destination here. I think this is the Dark Link room that he's wandered into.
Yep, definitely. Let's see if RaikouRider decides to do the usual thing and head stuck in the corner and just duck and slash, and that'll pretty much be it. And with that, RaikouRider has finished first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 8 seconds. GG.
Yeah, let's get those GGs in the chat for RaikouRider. And Dr. J, hot on his heels, unfortunately, on the losing side of things here. So I guess the big important question at this point is, are we going to try to get RaikouRider in here for a little bit of a chat before Dr. J will be able to finish off this run? Oh, nice save, Dr. J. Switching off to the fairy spell to avoid using a life on Lava Bath.
Oh, yeah. Definitely have to be quick on the draw to get that fairy spell off when in those situations. And Dr. J seeing the lovely, lovely bird cage, which I don't think was on the path to Darklink.
No. It was, unfortunately, the path to Thunderbird. Or actually, no, that was, there's just a flat dead end on the other side of this.
And we have RaikouRider in the booth. GG.
That was a seed. Thanks, though. It was like the seed actually wasn't that difficult. It's just, I had a bit of a rough time finding the glove. I'm sure that was
you both did.
Like, that was really it. That seed, as far as I was hoping for, was everything I could hope for. Like 6 gem, yes please.
Yeah, the glove was pretty much the go mode item for both of you.
Like, I was thinking about doing some pretty crazy gambles in GP because I thought I had taken every wrong turn possible in that seed. Like, I went into two, found it glove blocked. I went into 3, that was glove blocked. Went into 6, that was glove blocked. I almost full cleared the game looking for it. I had a hard time finding the transport that would take me to where the glove was. It was just... It sounds like the seed was not kind to either of us.
No, not at all.
Also, if anybody can hear Tetris, I apologize.
No, we're good.
You're fine on that, but Dr. J is trying his best not to follow in your footsteps through Great Palace. I believe you found 3, if not 4, dead ends, which...
I think I found every single room in GP. Like, every single room that was in that GP I found.
And I think throughout this whole thing, I think the only real advantage that Dr. J had over you was in levels. Because right now, Dr. J is at 888 right now.
I actually figured with the way the experience was, there was a good chance that we'd be on toll-free strats. Speaking of levels, you might have noticed that that in P5 right before Guma, I took a level in life. That was a misclick. I don't know.
And, you know,
I don't know if you thought that when I took it, but that
I-
was a misclick.
Yeah, I did see that you would take it in Life 5. I didn't really think anything of it. And, you know, Dr. J finds Darklink did not find Thunderbird.
Like I said, I believe I found every single room in that GP.
Yeah, GP sometimes just does not play nice. And with that, Dr. J is finished in second place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 53 minutes and 14 seconds. GG.
You did say that would be a pretty close race, and it wound up being pretty close. Just I was getting really worried when I found like how easy it was to get the rest of the items, the way the experience situation was. As far as like the difficulty of Max Rando goes, this is probably the most like beginner friendly Max Rando seed I've ever seen.
Oh, I saw one a little earlier today that was, I guess, as close to about a jet seed as you could ever ask for.
I'm not even talking about like jet seeds. I'm talking about just a beginner friendly seed. As in one that, how do I put this?
Gives you what you need to really succeed.
It's not coming to me. Sorry. Like for somebody coming from standard flags, it was very easy because I play a lot of 6 gem. Actually, I play almost exclusively 6 gem, so this was a nice surprise, unlike the last Max Rando tournament I was in, where I think my seeds were like 1 gem and 3 gem. So it's like, oh, do you know how to do attack 4 T-Bird? Too bad. Thankfully, that was not the case this time.
And with that, we have Dr. J in the booth as well. GG.
That was a dirty seed, though, even for a 6 gem one like this.
Oh, that was the glove was in a terrible spot. I'm actually curious. Was it just finding new Kasuto that was the issue for you, or did you have trouble finding Spell? Because I could also see how you might have trouble finding Spell.
No, Spell was in Saria, so I think both of you had that pretty early.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I just could not remember where Saria was. I was just like, where the F is this glove? Where the F is this glove?
Yeah, it was trying to find new Kasuto, and then when I went to Eastern Continent pretty early, spinning my wheels and trying to find boots, and they were right there, and
you know what? Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Another thing is you might also have noticed I completely forgot I had the Any key to start.
Yeah, I saw you picking up a couple keys there, which it's not that big of a time loss, really.
Well, I also left 3 because I thought I didn't have keys, and I'm like, wait. Well, it actually ended up saving me time that I left 3 because 3 you couldn't get the item out of.
And it was a P bag anyways. So you didn't miss much there.
Yeah, thankfully I didn't find all the items. Like when we were that far into that seed and it was being and the items were all relatively easy to find, I was thinking about redigging 5 because I thought I was behind.
Yeah, but that was just non-stop all P bag action, and was starting to get a little nervous when before I found new Kasuto, when I was going into 6 and had cleared that, I was just like, wait, do I want to gamble on the glove being there? Really don't want to have to dig 6 if I don't. And then just kept like P bag, and then finally found new Kasuto. So that was kind of a relief.
Yeah, it was just like it gave you a lot of nice stuff early, and then the whole end game of that seed was just one giant scavenger hunt for the glove. It felt like I was playing SMZ3 looking for like gravity or ice rod or just whatever that last dumb item you need to beat the game is. It's always something.
Yeah. Except instead of it being Super Metroid and Link to the Past, it's more like Zelda 2 and like Battle of Olympus or something. Yeah, that's an idea.
I'm sure we can make that happen. We do have the technology.
But yeah, that went fair. I think my routing for the most part was good up until I'm pretty sure both of us just went into panic mode looking for the glove.
Probably, yeah.
But shout outs to the crew for throwing this one together, because I think especially to our restreamer, because we got a restreamer last minute.
Yep, thanks to Victor Santa Fe for that one.
Yeah, thank you.
So this is this was just a really unusual seed. It felt like it was slanted towards people that were better at standard, rather than just, oh, can you do endgame on like attack 4?
Yeah, kind of like what my seed was asking me to do earlier this evening.
Yeah, thankfully T-Bird wasn't required, because that would not have been fun if you had to do it on a low attack. But the levels were generous tonight.
Oh yes, definitely.
And not just that, the P bags were very generous. I think there were multiple 500s in the small drop pool.
Felt like it, yeah. And also with life being mapped to fire, which you start with, and it being a very good.
It was,
high
I think,
ball, yeah.
fire was like 17 at Magic 5, and it was 33 at Magic 4 too. Oh yeah, investing in Magic 3 early was big as well, because it made Fairy castable, which I thought was going to be very important until the whole issue where I didn't realize I had the any key. That whole thing was silly.
It happens though.
So, Dr. J, when you're clearing your last couple ones, how concerned were you with finding Thunder? Because you were the only one that actually turned in the trophy in Ruto to get what ended up being Shield.
Yeah, I was hoping that it was. Well, when I had found that the trophy was right there, I was kind of hoping it was, but was just thinking, like, watch, it's probably Darunia, and turns out it was. At that point, it was a 50-50 shot.
And RaikouRider, when the first time he went to the eastern side, he already had the Lost Child, so he was able to get the Thunder spell right away.
That was huge, yeah.
Ironically, I actually think the reason why that happened was because, again, I forgot it was Max Rando and did not realize that I had the raft right away, so I was looking for it, and then I went in my pause menu and I realized I had the raft, and I was like, oh.